early. I'm trying to please those who have come late. What is happening in Kenya is like what, if you like, Warren Buffett said in 1997, and I quote him, "It has been far safer to steal large sums of money with a pen than small sums with a gun." So all those you see in prison tried stealing with a gun and they're in prison. But those who steal with the pens, they are running scot-free because they are protected by law. So that is why Operation Gatuzi, we believe that the new government project to integrate data is a heist to steal money from Kenyans in the guise of a project that Huduma Namba already done and done very well. So let's give you a background. How did Huduma Namba all began? People are thinking Huduma Namba began with Uhuru administration. Huduma Namba actually began with Kibaki administration in 2005. He initiated the registration of persons in the country in order to improve on the progress made by the Integrated Population Registration System, which is always called IPRS. So the government, through the Executive Order Number 1, 2018, established the National Integration Identity Management System called NIMS program. The aim was to create and manage a central population database that was to be the authentic single source of truth on a person's identity. This would increase access to government services, also called Huduma Kenya. This project was dubbed National Integration Identity Management System, NIMS, in line with the Vision 2030. Remember, Kibaki was the one who was the advocate for Vision 2030. Then after that, a group of researchers created the this highly secure NIMS program. So Kenyans, before this NIMS program, were usually required to carry their national identity card, KRA PIN, driver's license, passport, and many other documents. Since each of these records is kept in different databases and they don't speak to each other, Huduma Namba consolidates the database to create one single source of truth for a Kenyan identity. So the Huduma card would give people access to a variety of government services and let them use it as a travel document within East Africa. The card contains an electronic chip with a person's data encoded on it, doing away with the need for additional forms of identification. So how did Kibaki execute it? According to an article in one of the local newspapers, the former administration contracted the German company, Mulba Tech International, for the project. You can understand why they went to Germany, because of proven records of quality. Uhuru administration then ensured that the servers and the printers were in the country and ensured that there was data sovereignty by keeping the data, the servers, the printers in the country. So Huduma Namba provides for national registry of both electronic and optic data. In terms of safety, the card has over 20 security features that ensure the integrity of the card and the standards stored on and in it. So Huduma Namba therefore fulfills and supersedes the international standards by International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, and the International Organization of Standardization, which is also called ISO, making it one of the most secure cards in the world. This is evidenced by features such as data encryption on the chip and protection via a public key infrastructure document sign-off and fingerprint details. The card body is also made of polycarbonate, which has over 10 years of duration, which means for 10 years this card would still work and nothing would touch it. The security features are in 3 levels, including the optical security features that need a device to identify, e.g., microprinting, UV printing, and also forensic security features such as special security ink. According to the article, the German firm produces blank cards with all security features with the chip application on it. The empty card is then shipped to Kenya, where the chip is printed on with data and additional security features are added by the government. Under Huduma Namba, one would have been required to provide a number in case they want to transfer or make any dealings in land, pay taxes, transact in financial market, open bank account, access universal healthcare services, benefit from the government housing scheme, as well as access to social protection services. All these features have also been recommended in this new initiative that has been brought by the Kenya Kwanza. The question is, now, if all features are the same, why are we wasting money that would have been otherwise put to good use on the same project with a difference only being the name, which means the internal organ of the card we want to print is the same. Only the external cover could be called another name. So same internal organ and a different external brand. The Huduma Namba project in terms of asset cost Kenya 6.5 billion in taxpayers' money. That's about 7 billion in development costs. We are just talking about assets. We are not counting how many staff were employed, how much was spent in training, no operation cost. Remember, they set up now, currently, 52 Huduma centers throughout the country. At least every county has one Huduma center. All that was cost which was incurred. Huduma Namba employs about 1,000 employees countrywide. These jobs are now being lost because we want to give Pakistan work which has already been done in Kenya. We are calling on the government to leverage and build on the existing infrastructure provided through the Huduma Namba. And what is hard about it? Actually, there's nothing hard about that. So now that I explained to you what Huduma Namba has delivered, initiated by former President Mwai Kibaki, implemented by former President Uhuru Kenyatta, what is the digital project proposed by the Kenya Kwanza government? Remember, the government has announced the implementation of the unique person identifiers, now called UPI. So it's been moved from Huduma, it's been named UPI. But the internal organs are what? The same. So this is the way now Kenyans will be able to centralize their details to help the same thing, access to government services, which means that no vision, the issue is just more money. The big question, however, remains, what's the difference between the unique person identifiers and the Huduma Namba? This new initiative bears an uncanny resemblance to Huduma Namba project that was undertaken by President Uhuru Kenyatta's government. The only noticeable difference between original Huduma Namba and the new project is the name. So the 11.2 billion shillings is going to the name. So Interior CS, Professor Kindiki recently said, the new ID cards will have a machine-readable chip and a QR code and allow web-based authentication. We had an ID system in Kenya which is semi-automated. Going forward, we are looking to upgrade our current automated fingerprint identification system into an automated biometric identification system which goes beyond the fingerprints and involves the iris and facial recognition. We are moving from an electronic ID with a machine-readable QR code, and eventually this will lead us to a digital ID system which will allow a web-based ID authentication. In the long run, this will transit into a unique personal identifier which becomes their ID. That is exactly the same as Huduma Namba. Nothing here is different. I've told you the internal organs are the same. The name is different. And the name is going to cost us 11.2 billion shillings. My name is Fred Ogola. It was for free. My mother just said Fred. No 11.2 billion shillings was spent to give me a name, and also you. Even Kenya was given a name Kenya for free. Now ID is being named at a cost of 11.2 billion shillings. Now, interestingly, remember we are telling you a whistleblower report from the internal of National Registration Bureau. We managed to talk to a staff who is in charge of all digital programs in the Ministry of ICT. And they have told her they are not working. And when the CS David Eliud visited them, he only focused on knowing who was tendering which project. Does the change in regime mean we waste taxpayers' money on a similar project as Huduma Namba, which is only different to the former by name? Is this not what is called dead assets? We have a dead asset if we move from 6.5 billion, a dead asset now, to have another asset at 11.2 billion shillings. Is President Ruto's government pushing for an increase in taxes so that they can misappropriate funds and charge us for things we have already paid for? President Ruto, while attending the Pan-African Parliament Conference in South Africa and during the ID for Africa Conference in Kenya, was given a standing ovation for stating that Africa should be at the forefront of providing solutions to its own problems. Thank you very much, Mr. President. From what we gather, this is what Huduma Namba project was doing. A Kenyan solution to a Kenyan problem. Is it to say that the CSO Walo Ndiki are identifying their own, are trying to defy their own boss because their boss said it's going to be a Kenyan solution? Why are they going to Pakistan? Are they not keen to actualize this vision? Is Huduma Namba not Kenyan? We are a sovereign state. Why do we want to give our data to Pakistanis? President William Ruto's government signaled the end of Huduma Namba with a deep budget cut because you put your money where your mouth is. The budget was originally 680 million. It had a 16% reduction to 574 million. The budget cuts were aimed at discouraging workers, thus stifling the deliverables of the project. Earlier this year, the Cabinet Secretary for ICT, Eliud said the Huduma Namba project did not see the light of day because the government did not properly raise public awareness and political climate at the time of the launch, which left grounds for skepticism. This is not true, as sensitization was done extensively regarding the project and its benefit. I was in a village, remote village in Ugenya, and I was aware of it. So if it reached Ugenya, for sure, it reached every part of this country. The CS is trying to justify the new digital ID project, which will cost taxpayers more money when the government can easily implement the Huduma Namba. Instructively, some of the legal minefields that handicapped Huduma Namba that are relevant to UPI have since been addressed. The Data Protection Act of 2019 and the Office of Data Commissioner have been enacted and institutionalized to allay concerns about data security and integrity. A planned multi-sectoral involvement and robust engagement of all stakeholders will be at the heart of UPI buy-in and rollout. The Ministries of Health, Interior, and ICT will also play prominent roles. The media and opinion shapers will be essential partners in ensuring the public is well informed and fully engaged in the implementation. This is just a ploy by the involved parties to try and legitimize the UPI project. CS Eliud Owalo, CS Kindiki, and PS Bitok have been cited saying the Huduma Namba did not work and the UPI will be different. The only problem is all the reasons they cited do not make sense enough for us to ditch the Huduma Namba, which is secure, and opt for the UPI. We have reliable information from the staff that Huduma Namba is working perfectly well, and we shall demonstrate it here before you today. And if you want to do, please log into www.confirmation.hudumanumber.go.ke and insert your ID number, and you'll see that the status in that case, you'll see whether it has been printed, whether it's pending printing. You'll see it is working, and the machines are top-notch. Irungu Houghton of Amnesty International stated that the court of law had declared Huduma Namba illegal. Yet the last Huduma case is found. Again, I give you a link there. If you just go to www.kenyalaw.org.caselaw.cases, you will be able to find that link that the case says that this case was heard, appeal was done, and was heard and determined. There is no more legal holding Huduma Namba from working. President Ruto's administration has purposefully allowed the spread of this misinformation regarding Huduma Namba so that they can paint a negative image to the public regarding this project. Huduma Namba project cost taxpayers around 11 billion. We are used to hearing these numbers, billions, trillions, and millions. So let me just tell you that to put into perspective, the 11.2 billion shillings we're about to lose, if you look at Kilifi, referral hospital was constructed using 1.5 billion. So the money we're about to lose can bill for you 10 county referral hospitals in Kenya. How much are we lacking healthcare that you want to put money only where we are changing the name? It is clear that PS Bitok is not an outstanding person. You know something is wrong when your close acquaintance, allies describe you as a person of shortcuts, deceptive, cunning, and capable of lying with a straight face. The former Kenyan ambassador to Pakistan seemingly made important connections in Pakistan during his 8-year stint as an ambassador. His dalliance with people of questionable character makes one question: where is his loyalty lies? Is it to sell our data and our country to the highest bidder? In this case, to sell it to Pakistan. That is the only explanation as to why we would ditch the Huduma Namba that was created by Kenyans for Kenyans, done by Kenyan researchers, only to create something similar and give our data willingly to Pakistanis. In May this year, President William Ruto's administration flew a team to Pakistan to roll out new national digital identity project. The tip came 3 months after ICT CS Owalo revealed that the government had abandoned the Huduma Namba project. Several delegates visited the National Database and Registration Authority called NADRA, headquarters based in Pakistan, on Monday, May 15, 2023. The UPI is seeking to do what Huduma Namba already did, but at exorbitant prices. This is a mega scandal waiting to happen. On Ruto's part, this may be a case of having been caught with an egg on his face. Why? When he was deputy president, he vehemently opposed the Huduma Namba initiative by his predecessor. President Ruto's government now wants to roll out a similar digital identity project. As Kenyans, we must, however, ask questions such as, what is the difference between this new project and the Huduma Namba? Why is this government hell-bent on wasting money on a white elephant project during these tough economic times? What will happen to the over 1,000 employed by the Huduma Namba now that the PS wants to tender what could have been done by Kenyans to Pakistanis? Why are we risking our data? The government has failed to publish a gazette notice to operationalize the card and make it a legal identity. With the right data, one can either make or destroy a nation. We will not allow our data to be auctioned to the highest bidder or to the person who offers the best kickbacks.